Okay, this is a very interesting evening. So let's get some people to come in. Not sure who is watching right now, but for those of you who are watching, I would love you to share this link and give me your thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, just let me check on my side. Get people to come in first. So everything is. So let's get some people to come in first. Okay, just let me share this on the page. And I'm sure those of them who are eager to learn, they will be joining us shortly. All right. This is one of the very memorable afternoon. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. We will start maybe in the next 5 minutes. So in the meantime, let's just get everybody come up. I will just post this as going live right now, retime. So, yep. Okay, we have a few people coming in already. So, thank you, everyone. So, just check with them whether live right now, just type yes or just give me a thumbs up in the comment section or give me a lot of like if you can hear my voice. Hi, Chris. Can you hear me? Chris, can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. People coming in already. So yeah. Can you give me a thumbs up? Thank you, everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm still waiting for some comments. There are a few people here watching. I just need some of you who can hear me to give me some thumbs up. Okay, give me a little like, love. Okay, Chris, it seems that you can hear me. I just need to know whether you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah, we're supposed to start at 2:30, but we have some technical glitches, and my headphone is working very well. So I'm looking. So let's get first to come in. Can you all hear me? Reception not that good, yeah? Okay. Maybe now it's also raining, but this is not Astro, so no worries. As long as you can hear my voice. As long as you can hear my voice. All right, seems that everyone can hear. Tony, on your side, can you check with your phone whether you can hear my voice loud and clear? Fantastic, fantastic. So we will just wait up. Just send the link out again. Yeah, just let me share also on my page. Retime. Okay. Finally, we are able to talk to everyone. Anyway, for those of you who have missed this, don't worry. This video will be still live on the UCSI College page. Oh, finally, it's having no voice is like being suffocated for so long, you know. Chris, you still can't hear me. It's intermittent, yeah? Maybe I need Tony to put his sound and voice to maximum. Tony, on your side. Put it all to maximum. Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's get everyone come up. Chris, if you can hear me, give me some love and like. Tony as well, if you can hear me, give me some love and like. Share this out. Come up, we'll start in. Yeah. So let us get this up and coming again. Okay. People coming in already. So okay. Yeah, I can hear my own voice loud and clear on my phone. Maximum. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. After I blast this out, then we can start. Just nice finish by 5 o'clock so that we can actually go for dinner. For those of you who are actually sharpening your saw right now to learn how to cook. So now it's 4 p.m. and it's going to rain on my side. But no worries, I'll keep you entertained just before your dinner. Okay, so we will start in the next few minutes as I blast this out first. All right. So for those of you who just come in and you did not miss anything, because we did not really start as we had some technical glitches right now. We just started and we're waiting for more minutes and to blast this out so that more and more people can join in the fun. Yeah, can join in the fun, yeah. So if you can, please help me to share. We want to make sure that we touch a lot of people today, a few hundred people to come in to join for this session. Because I prepared a lot of nice slides for you all. In fact, this is the first time ever I do a live using slides. So hopefully it can benefit all of you, yeah? Okay. Let me send a few more messages to some of my friends who came in just now to support. Thank you, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Sui Hao. Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. Let us get back in. Shubha. Yeah. So for those who just joined in, we are about to start. Okay. Finally, we are back on track. How many people are already here? Okay, we have more people coming in. Good. I need more of you to come in first so we can start all together. All right. Okay. How is everyone doing? I hope you had your lunch and your afternoon nap, and now it's just the time for us to basically learn a few things or two. All right. So this is my first live, I guess, on Facebook ever since the MCO in Malaysia started. I've been having a lot of interviews, recorded versions, and whatnot. So coming months. Okay, I've shared mine already. So Tony, I think in just a minute or so, we can rightfully start our session. Okay? So I'm so sorry, guys, for those of you who just joined back for the umpteenth times. Hi, Justin. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Let me just put my phone on silent first. All right. And then we shall start. Because I have a lot of friends who just came in earlier and they couldn't hear my voice. So yep. Okay, so I'm going to start shortly. In the meantime, I just posted in WhatsApp and Facebook just to get everybody to come in. And for those of you who just joined, we had a very interesting afternoon. Of course, as usual, we can't expect the unexpected, and we had difficulties in the technicalities. Nothing to do with my headphone. My headphone is good. My laptop is good, you know. But I guess there's a reason. Perhaps that's why you are here right now, and I would like your help If you can hear me loudly, please give me a thumbs up on the comment there. Thumbs up on the comment there. And give me a lot of love, okay, for support. Okay, so we will finally start in 30 seconds, all right? 30 seconds. I'm going to give, say something like 45 minutes of my guest lecture, all right? And we will be ending around 5. Okay, so for those of you who are here, thank you very much. Click on like and love. Okay, we will start shortly. All right. So hope you like the background logo. All right. So first of all, thank you very much to UCSI College for having me on first time as the guest lecturer for today. For your information, the what called guest lecture has been actually already planned out a few weeks ago, and we had 3 speakers for this planned guest lecture series. So I'm the second speaker. The first one was Aaron. He did his talk 2 days ago, and after this there will be another speaker, which is my good friend Christopher Chan, on the 10th of April, Friday, same time, 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. Hopefully there's no any glitches at the time, and all of us will be talking a string of topics that will be basically covering on real estate. Okay, so I'm glad to be sandwiched between 2 very powerful house genius and experienced real estate agents. All right, myself, I am basically the CEO and founder of a business advisory firm called Superior Bosses. And for those of you who do not know me, I'm also author of 3 books. Today, I will just share my insights of what I observe in the market. As some of you already know that I've been actually interviewed. I've been having some write-up in the last few weeks or so leading up to the SEO. And there's a lot of interesting thing that is coming up in the next few months. And not just forecast, but I will give views on what we could actually benefit in the real estate market. Not just as the real estate individual or agents, but for those of you who are investors, who are landlords, who are even tenants. And that is what I'm going through in the next 45 minutes or so with my slides. Not sure how long will it take me, but I prepared almost quite close to 100 of slides, yeah? Okay, so I hope everyone is here. Please click love and like and share this as much as you can, yeah? So that more people will benefit, because it's not just me and the background, as I'm going to share with you my slides. So when I share my slides, I need Tony to basically help me to remove that small little window on the top right so that it doesn't block some of those. So, all right, let me just start by sharing this. Tony, are you there, Tony? Yeah, okay. So when I do that, can you just adjust this small tiny window, minimize it with just my face without blocking any of the words lah? All right. Okay. All right. Can you hear me, everyone? Yes. Okay. We will start shortly. So Tony, can you adjust the small window so that it doesn't block any of the so-called? Or I having moving that around. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Can. Okay. We'll start right. I can't see my face. It's best to just leave my face there so that at least then they can see me talking. Can I do that? Aaron? Aaron? Done? Okay, I start. All right. Thank you very much. Where am I right now? Okay, let me share again. Okay. So here you go. This is my topic for today. Basically, we are going to see whether there's any opportunities in Malaysia real estate right now. And For those of you who do not know me, my name is Alan Poon. I'm an author of Good Tenant, Great Tenant series. First 3 books to launch simultaneously in Malaysia. That got me to Malaysia Book of Records. All right. And this is basically the 3 books. For those of you who already have it, congratulations. I hope you enjoy the book. This is the best time to read the book because during MCO or lockdown, we have a lot of time. But most importantly, of course, these are some of the articles that I was in. Yeah. Okay, what we do is that we will cover some of these topics, the opportunities, but we have to basically get the whole picture right first. So I will cover with you what I see as the triple shock that Malaysia encountered and which culminated into a perfect storm. All right, in recent months, or I would say recent week, because things are changing very, very pretty fast. I will start with the situation of the market from the global challenge that we are facing right now. And then what are the directions that we are taking from the government side, the policies roll out, and what are the probabilities that are coming out right now that we could see as an opportunity. I will, as much as I can, I will just do it in a positive light because all we need a lot is now positive energy. All right. So to see what can we, when I say we, mean to say I'm referring to real estate professionals, agents, negotiators, landlords, buyers, owners, tenants, etc. Okay. I will cover also about the landlord in terms of the returns and cash flow, what could be happening right now for you, the tenants, what are the pitfalls or choices, all right? And of course, for real estate agents, which Aaron has covered last 2 days on his topic on the so-called reason and advantages. Perhaps now you can see the bridging and the position that you can be in to capture the opportunity. All right. So all these will give a picture so that if you decided to take up the course, UCSI College will be having their EDRA program, which colleague Christopher will basically touch on Friday. All right. So let's start with the perfect storm. All right. And I think on my side it's freezing now. So it's indeed a perfect storm. I'm sure let's go to quickly. Most of us know what is happening right now. But I think it all started long before in 2018 when there was this trade between the 2 powerhouses from the West and the East, which is the US and China, where they have no thanks to the pandemic, there are others tariff, up to not few billions, but few hundred billions, all right, and are still pretty much very tight, in the market. But even that until today, 2020, as we come into the new year, we also see there's also this economic challenge because we are also facing with never seen before oil price value from $60 per barrel all the way up to below $30 per barrel. And this is basically to show you that Saudi Arab and Russia, yeah. And of course, as we go along towards the Lunar New Year, we are also faced with also the, I wouldn't say the devaluation, but our ringgit was so weak, it's against the greenback, $1 to 4.5 ringgit, So I hope that it won't touch 5 ringgit for most of us here who is earning in ringgit, unless you are earning in US dollar. So things happen, and you don't know whether the bottom is really the bottom. So first thing first, and economic challenge is something that we ask nations. Just today, no, we are also facing a political challenge, all right, whereby towards the end of January, as we are about to go into the new year, we had a lot of news saying that it will be some in Sheraton, and I was thinking, what is this Sheraton move, So and behold, by the end of February, I think the whole Malaysia political landscape is everyone is on a standstill. We are watching our phone was basically updated every hour, every minute with the current the previous ruling government, which is only for 2 years, and we had a new prime minister. Who is the prime minister? The PM8, and finally our new prime minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin has sworn in. So all this until today is still very uncertain because number one, the first But then, before all this thing was about to even kickstart, we already have the biggest health challenge ever since World War II. Okay, ever since the end of World War II, which is the so today we have the coronavirus called the COVID-19, which most of us are well aware of. That is the reason why we are today doing this live webinar through Facebook. And it's pretty scary. As you can see, it's all red. All right. We were initially thinking that property market, after having been quite slow for so many years, that we may even see some recovery. But with all these things coming together, we even see bloodbath, in the market, where maybe some developers could be bleeding because sales are not even there, and yet there's still so much of overhang of property supply. All right. So having said that, how does this pandemic actually challenge us? So a lot of us are now thinking whether the MCO, extended MCO, that was more than 4 weeks, or really lifted off in 14. I'm so sorry to tell you, but based on global trend, it's not going to be just 4 weeks, as we can see from here. This is taken from Wikipedia. And in fact, today, as I'm doing this Facebook Live with you, you can see from this slide, on the 8th of April, there is this Wuhan lockdown to be lifted. So even China, which the whole thing started since in Wuhan, will also take at least 3 months, okay, from January until now, January, February, March, April. Yeah, 3 months. How can Malaysia, be lifted in terms of temporary measure? So look at the cycle, I think we will definitely cross until even May. And if things are not well, go into June, but hopefully can go out to work, but that also takes some time, as we are going to delve into this further. All right. So this was as of yesterday. And we are touching 4,000. I believe by today, announcement at 5 p.m., I think we will definitely touch 4,000. So basically, our curve is getting higher. We will try to flatten the curve. So I am glad that all of us are doing our part as the frontliner to stay at home. Yeah. So having seen all these market challenges right now, so what is there? It's so all in gloom and doom. How can we really see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to property? So how can all these things relate to property? You see, so sad to say, we have to face the fact that I would say we are maybe going down the valley to rock bottom in terms of our economy. So recession is imminent. But we just don't forget one thing. Prior to COVID-19, basically our economy is also having some headwinds already. You see, as I mentioned earlier, we have the trade war, we have the fuel prices. The property slumps has been always seen in Malaysian market. All right, there's no improvement, and loans are not forthcoming. So what could happen after this is that after partial quarantine at home, life will not be the same anymore, as more people have to adhere to social distancing. So do we see people queuing up to buy properties? Do we see people going to sales gallery? All right, the big questions, yeah. And of course, global supply chain has disrupted. Okay, borders has closed, if not mistaken, last 2 days. The export from China is closed. So planes are flying in. A lot of people who are stranded out of the country, Malaysians, are still finding it tough. So that the whole logistic and transport does affect supply chain, and definitely Malaysia economy is not spared. And definitely when nobody is going out, we will definitely have a credit crunch because everybody is not working. Despite, of course, some of you are enjoying at home, taking this like an easy, the government is giving subsidy, which I'll talk about this shortly. And maybe some of you are having so-called your pay, still getting a pay. Not trying to paint you a bad picture, but we are face a lot of issues when it comes to money and economy. So I wouldn't predict, but actually I researched over the last few weeks. I've been in the so-called lockdown. Is that this is by McKinsey? Is that we are projecting that there are few industry that will hit hard. In fact, before the virus started back in Malaysia when it was originated from Wuhan, we already see that our air travel has and tourism, aviation industry has been affected badly. As you can see from this side, from left right, you can see the color changes from dark red to orange, light orange and yellow, right? So it's also an estimation of how this industry, from aerospace, defense to air travel to insurance, oil and gas, automotive and apparel will be affected. All right, everything is right. So these are some of the hardest hit sectors that I want to share with you. And as you can see, some of these buyers what requires real estate. And this is by the World Bank, quite recent. The growth forecast is declining globally, but in the region, Malaysia is one of the very unfortunate few countries that is projected to be having a negative growth. There will be Indonesia, the country with the largest population, as well as also Thailand, surprisingly, right? All right. But if you can see, Vietnam, they are having a robust growth of more than double digit in the last few years, and I think they can still sustain. And if you can see, for those of you who have been catching the live virus update cases and death from the world, you also know that in the Indo-China region, initially there were two countries which are quite spared. Whether they are not reported or maybe there are not much people going there, such as Laos and Myanmar. But today, I think no country is spared. Maybe if you are in Antarctica or Antarctica, where there are less human population. So having said that, so how does this bode well for Malaysia? All right, especially in terms of economy and we face it, because we have never faced this before. Okay, for those of our baby boomers, I think this is also the first time we are back to square one, where we are all, staying at home and do not know what to do. How is our business? For business owner, I think you felt the fire first, rather than some of us who are working. So it's just a time where we drop everything and we say, to hell with it. Sorry, yeah. So basically, we're going forward. It will be the same. So I wrote an article recently in the Star, all right, and it was published March. Exactly the day I think our Prime Minister have announced on stimulus package. I did mention that it's all gloom and doom, especially in real estate, because if you look at the bright side, there will be some subsectors that could be performing. And it depends on the supply chain of real estate, whether you are a developer, whether you are a professional valuer, you are a real estate. For those of you who want to know more, you can actually go to my Facebook page later after this to find out more. All right. So having said this, so let's go into the directions that the government or the country is actually taking in to remedy some of this global challenge right now. All right. And of course, we will see that, of course, we all know that we are now under the movement control order, which was announced on the 16th of March. And it started on 18th until 31st. On the 27th, when the package was, stimulus package was there to help some of the people, the B4, it was also to 14. So, of course, the golden question now is this: will this MCO be extended? Now, I definitely can give you a firm answer, but my best it will be based on trend that you see earlier. Okay, because the whole thing is to basically break the, or in other words, curve. All right. So well, I think okay. There are not many extra cluster. Medium term or long term outcomes from this MCO is, as more people are being cordoned off, staying at home, there are less demand for some of the things out there, except for essential items. But even essential items, we have heard a lot of people like the farmers, the fisheries, even people, those from Cameron Highlands, they produce, in terms of the volume, some of them have to throw away. So all these things can affect in short term. Of course, those of you who are not working, you're at home, your income may be affected if your bosses are impacted. And basically, hopefully, there will not be more social issues like panic buying or even theft and burglary that we see in some of the foreign videos. All right. On medium, especially if there's still uncertainty, I believe the SME owners, the business sector we'll continue to struggle of a lot of operational costs and expenses. If we stop, so I really hope that everyone is safe. Our healthcare system will be tested. All right. Some factories will have to do some toolings. So maybe to different products, like even manufacturing more of the private protection and whatnot. Over the long, this very good discussion, and we are doing right now a webinar on Facebook Live for the students of UCSI, for our friends who are watching at home right now. So, but then again, of course, not Zoom, still watching it change of this things that is happening. We know that we have a first stimulus package. How many of you benefited? If you have benefited, please give me a thumbs up in the comment below. Thing is the called low. We don't want to be like Indonesia. We don't want to be like any countries who may have their 40 pre-Hatin package for economy. I think the thing was they need to raise up is this loan, which is something that I would applaud the government for doing. MF, principal for loan, housing, or perhaps a higher purchase, except for credit cards. I think one is doing this right, because the first on our mind, when we do not have any MCO, what do the we need to cut our expenses. So most of our expenses onto all this what you call financing. Stopping this is a good move. Yeah. Beside that, of course, there is this penetralan saver, or we call it the exclusion of rental. Government premises and those that are paying for the RTO, all right, 6 months. For the mass masses, so basically no one is paying any loan, they are staying for free, all right, penetralan saver. And of course, the federal announcement also lead down to a lot of similar response by the state governments, just like those in Penang. I'm putting here Penang, Selangor, and Terengganu, and all these are there. So of course, in your mind right now is that what if you are not part of this? What if you are a private and you're not staying in a public housing, or you're not in a government premise? So what can you do? All right. So we'll talk about that later. But all these measures that are started by the government, as you can see, this is a projection by Moody's. All right, it says that this COVID-19 heat map is that the first economic disruption is basically affected those in the red zone, the one with high exposure. So check which industry you are in now if you are in the real estate. For our real estate agents, professionals, and negotiators, this is the best time for you to see who are your which industry are they in? They are more vulnerable in. Okay, the one in high exposure are those that are very much dealing with, example, automotive, even leisure and tourism, passenger airline, In fact, gaming such as what? Like in Genting, casinos are closed. But I doubt this will be affected once the MCO is lifted, but maybe they will have social distancing where, the punters or the gamers will have to stand quite far away from each other to play. Then we have, of course, the F&B. I'm sure after the MCO is lifted, there will be still some time to adjust to go back out to restaurants and cafe. Things will never be the same anymore. As before I start this webinar, I was seeing even now grocery shopping. One very good move is that some people are doing the mist spray booth already. Where you go in there and you get sprayed first before you get sanitized first before you go for your grocery. So of course, the green part is the one that we have to we need to highlight, because I think this is the lowest exposure right now, and perhaps this is also some of the estate. Those with pharmaceuticals or even food essentials and whatnot. Yeah, and these could some of the potential winners and losers in terms of the subsectors. So if we look into whether which of this category of this industry where the rate estate, in case you are the landlord and if you have actually rented to some of these areas, perhaps you may understood that why they are struggling, And of course, if you're in the green area, I think this is where you will thrive and perhaps your tenants are not affected. Yeah. So ultimately, the whole thing requires the government, because I think there's nobody who can save the whole world. Everybody have to take care of their own country. And as the rakyat or the citizen of Malaysia, I think we cannot expect, individually, no matter how rich we are, our resources are finite. And therefore, the government needs to come in to step in, not just help the bottom low-income earner, but also the majority of the masses. Recession definitely is coming. All right, supply chain is affected. Online platform, definitely there will be a lot of more services and whatnot. Okay, as well as medium and long-term impacts. Okay, so I see a lot of trends going up, especially the industry 4.0, which prior to the COVID we were looking at more of awareness, right? But now I think it will be accelerated, and I think the whole pandemic has actually bring rise to a lot of our what do you call this awareness of being healthy, being well, and I think that is something very, very important in today. So I think even now, if some of you are having any emergency, like example, you have a toothache, you also have to go to the clinic or dentist, And I really pity those who are going to go into labor right now, because they will have this panic or emotional stress, with so many viruses, with so many cases out there, Will I be infected if I go into labor right now? So all these and more businesses or services to serve the market in the long run. And then again, after that, recently, I think 2 days ago, we had this additional stimulus package for the SME, because as long as we have covered the lower grade, we also are talking about the people who actually are able to survive, but not for long if the MCO is extended. So there was this SME package that was supposed to help. Because what SME loan has deferred, all right? And they have gotten some maybe a leeway if they are renting some government spaces, but yet they still have to put in a lot of jury contribution like EPF. So even big payroll, all right? You are on a payroll, what's suffering, yeah. So of course, this was put in. Not sure whether it helps or not. If it helps, give me a lot of love and like right now, all right. If it doesn't, then you can just give me maybe a thumbs down, all right. So this is some additional wages. Actually look into some of the industry we are talking about here. Now, in the real estate sector, I think we are putting into different type of property type. For the industrial type, as you can see, all right, what this picture is that we foresee that industrial sector means like factories, warehouse, logistic hub. I think more of these are affected so much because most of these are basically primary industries and are quite essential as a matter of fact. And I think we will look into more and more of this industry being decentralized, or put it this way, they will be moved into smaller locations like industrial park. So we may see a boost in terms of semi or light industrial warehouse as demand, because if you just have only one factor to produce, with all this global supply chain that is affected, your business is affected. But if you decentralize and, instead of one location, the business owner go and start more of their hub, logistic hub elsewhere, then have in the industrial sector, we will foresee in the future some house could turn into a World Trade Center, for example, just like the Swedish company who have done it very well. In front of their warehouse, in the warehouse, they are doing retailing, but they also have action where they put in a lot of their stocks. Okay, so these are the things, opportunity I would foresee in the market for in Asia, and perhaps even this is already seen in the few years ago when this restaurant for the factor, okay, where most restaurant now are taking their supply directly, all right, or even factory or produce, so that it can have a supply to F&B outlet. For the commercial side or especially retail, I think before even COVID-19, we have seen news like this where big names and big brands are closing down because of poor fall. All right. So or the economic, like all those startups which is doing online e-commerce. So that's why there was a call for O2O, offline to online, online to offline kind of thing. And with the last mile delivery outsourced to all these delivery companies, at least we can shop at this what they call this comfort of our own home. Yeah. So with all this retail having a setback now, especially with MCO, where most of them are not open, can you imagine all these are also affected? So with all these things affected, so what is the opportunity left for us? All right. So if you are investing into a retail sector or whatnot, perhaps some ideas is, you can see this is some of the latest write-ups that I got. Malls must stay relevant. Okay, people no longer want to go to malls, especially after MCO. I think in the next 6 to 9 months after MCO, there will be a change of consumer behavior. People will, but only for essential service. Will you still go around and shop with your cash and buy clothing? You will, but maybe there's a lot of things needed like social distancing and whatnot. Who occupy spaces have to revamp their business model, perhaps to look into more exciting things to attract the lifestyle, the younger generation. Some of the ideas that I have now is here. Perhaps a commercial can go into some a retail with some gadgets like geotagging, with some touch screen that you don't need to actually have so many stocks there. All right. So these are some of the business model that could have changed thanks to COVID-19 or the MCO pandemic, which will actually speed up the whole transport landscape in the commercial retail sector. All right. And I want to show you this graph. This is, I think, also shown by Aaron today about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. And I think if you understand this chart, basically everyone needs to cover their basic needs first. All right. Such as water and the physiological needs and safety. All right. So if you look on this angle, being a real estate agent or being a person in the real estate industry, whether understand the economics and the psychological part of human behavior. All right. And I think a lot of people put aside the big ticket items. But then you may say, hey, real estate is big ticket item. Will people buy property these days like that? Well, I would say the answer is yes and no. All right. Yes, in the context that those with cash already, they will be always hunting for good gems. But no is in the sense that, well, you can select which sector to go into. And I would definitely ask you to go into sectors that you can rent out or you can even do business with that covers the basic needs, right? Commercial for hotels, I think we all know that already, was one of the first few sectors that got hit by the triple shock, all right? As you can see recently, even a hotel in Ipoh actually have to shut down, all right? It's the what do you call it, the last straw that break the camel's back, all right? So when all these things are affected, okay, what are opportunities? You cannot just demolish the building, you see. So it depends on, again, the value chain. If you're a developer, you need to see how to turn it into something useful. And ranks is this. Now, I'm showing you this chart, so-called pie, is to show you that, in fact, the hotel industry has been in talks, and there is a trend or pattern of convergence already. All right. Of course, they are always in loggerheads, the hotels and the short stay of Airbnb and whatnot. But if you look at it, the hostel sector, I have a friend who is also, maybe he's watching this, he's doing hotel management, and he said, he's not affected. Perhaps also because hostel, you are catering to a group of people who are like students or even outstation staff who need to work and they need to stay. So I think having a roof over your head is very important these days. So it's again about the usability and the space usage of the buildings that will help you to thrive in bad times. Yeah. And what else? Yeah. So some of these hotels can be turned into co-living or communal living. As you see from this picture, there's a communal table there. And it's not by showing that there are transit homes that one can actually do. Okay, there are transit home. Guys, if you're still watching this and you feel that it's good, can you give me some like and love? Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. I'm just checking my phone whether to see some of you are okay, you know. All right. So I hope you are giving me like and love and share this if you find that this is something useful. Okay. So transit home is part of a communal living, co-living. Okay. So developers will definitely look into building some co-housing, you know, encompassing some of these co-living concepts. And catering for also some co-working space down there, so that basically we do not have to go far. Can you imagine we stay in a place where we can work, we can actually stay, and we can even order food right down to us, or even if there's a convenience store downstairs in our place. So these are some of the so-called opportunities that I would foresee in the market that will be transformed very, very soon. For those of you who did, you will take position right now, landlords or even tenants, business person. And it depends on who is the and who will take advantage of this. Now, what about turning your commercial buildings, like all these hotels or even buildings that are being now having distressed by some of this current economic situation? Can we turn this into wellness asset? Now, wellness asset is not a hospital. It's not just, that's why I don't put the photo here with a swimming pool or spa, because it misleads people into thinking that, oh, I just have a swimming pool, I do some yoga, then it's a wellness asset. Wellness asset is more than that. Can you imagine this is your room when you go and stay in a hotel, and you can actually, every single thing from the massage chair, to the carpet that you touch with your bare feet, with the air that you breathe with a healthy ionizer, and all this spa or so-called bathtub, So wellness asset can be many, many things, and it's quite new in Malaysia. If you look at the statistics, which I just recently put up in these two articles in the Star Property, you can Google later after this. All right, called the rise of wellness. .com later on to find out and see whether this is a good read for you or not. Because I have actually postulated that wellness real estate could be the next wave if there's a lot of all these buildings that is commercially viable and turn it into. So you see, despite all the pandemic, I think the first basic needs of the hierarchy, Maslow hierarchy, is that wellness need to be there. No matter how much money you have, at the end of the day, you need to spend it on your health. All right. And if you can spend it on your loved one, that's even better. So if we can be well and we can healthy, all right, and we can even do a business out of it, isn't it good investment? Yeah. So this is some of, perhaps as a real estate agent or negotiator, you can use this as a pitch, provided you are also getting the listing right from some of these business owners or even landlords who are doing this kind of business. All right. What about residential? You see, I talk about industrial, I talk about commercial. Residential, is there any opportunity? Now, this is already, I think, the longest topic ever in the, I think, in the whole world, not just Malaysia. But I want to highlight to you, in times of distress or trying times like this, a lot of people will face credit crunch first. So if you lose your job and you cannot find a job, I think most of the time is you will be temporarily broke. Okay, then you will have to find ways to see how to survive a month to month, to cut off your expenses and whatnot. And you may be fully laden with debt. So the whole process may take a few months or even up to a few years. All right. And with the Bankruptcy Act that Malaysia, I think over the last how many years, we have seen a lot of people getting into bankruptcy. I think the last 5 years there's around 80,000 over cases. So maybe we can see some of this distressed property will be put onto auction. But don't get too excited first. Okay, the opportunities are definitely there for auction property, but maybe not for the first 6 months, because as you know, the first 6 months there's this loan moratorium. Remember? So nobody is actually owing the bank. So the bank is not going to blacklist you if you're not paying the loan. So I don't see that is new so-called property up for distress or foreclosure by the bank. Anyway, the bank have to they record the exact true foreclosure first. So maybe things will get heated up 6 months down the road after the loan moratorium is lifted. Hopefully, it's not extended. Okay, if it's extended, then this will be a very, not to say good asset class to go in right now. But it's good if you can actually learn more for the next 6 months, because auction is not just as easy as going for the cheaper price. You still need to learn how to get this gem and so-called maneuver the land mines So the next 6 months is good to learn more about options, which I have actually taught in the past in my workshops and even upcoming webinars if there's a lot of demand. All right. So lastly, I want to tell you more about the three stakeholders that how do you take opportunity of this before I end it. Tony, do I still have time? Yeah. Okay, good, good. All right. So let's talk about the landlord side. So as a landlord, what can you reap the benefit in the economic challenges with all the subsectors that I've just covered earlier? I think the landlord, most importantly, all of us, can we still do that? Yes and no. Okay. First thing first, I think we are now facing this very extreme landscape of financing where even the Bank Negara are reducing the basis point recently before COVID. I think they already knew, they saw something that time in January that they reduced the basis point from 3.25 to now 2.75. It's one of the lowest in the last 9 years. All right. And I think this is well for the investor because this is the best time now if you cash. All right, or you actually have a good standing with the banks to show your bills, you know, this is the time when they will close down the umbrella for those who doesn't have a good ship, or you who are existing home, you have this is the best time for you to take advantage of all the financing available because it's cheap, you know. Of course, not as cheap as Hong Kong, you know. Last year we were doing a protest and all these things where they have a lower than our what basically is some countries also even negative. All right. So it's now, all right, to release some liquidity. And if you are an employee, good for you. It's time for shopping. And if you are an employer, perhaps you can refinance some of these assets that you have for your business. So for those of you who are watching this as you are from the SME line, you don't need to take a pandemic or a recession to teach you that in any business, you need to have some properties as a hedging, all right, as a hedging, so that in bad times like this, you can actually use the lower rate sentiment or the landscape to actually refinance some of your properties, and that will be a quick cash for you to actually help to sustain your business operations and expenses, etc. So, but of course, financing is only one part of it. There are also considerations aside from the bank financing put into some of the articles that I have written before, such as this. So again, as landlord, you still need to have some cash in hand and plan in advance in case at this time, if let's say you have just taken VP or you have perhaps just gotten your VP before the COVID-19, that now you cannot find any tenant at all. You need to maintain, you know, you need to. So for the buyer side, if I can just summarize, there are plenty of good deals right now. So this is good for real estate agents or negotiators if you are in this path, you know, good time, bad times, everyone still needs a roof above their head. And of course, in times like now, it's trying, there's a lot of deals where you can actually negotiate. Of course, if auction is there, you can have a look. Beside auction, you can look at the sub-sale market deals, financing, how all this still also cash is still king, you know, because you still need to renovate your house. You can't just take the financing with interest to go and renovate, right? So most importantly, I want to highlight this thing called the kind of now is actually very motivated to strike a deal, to get some good deals. So perhaps it's time to even look into some distressed properties that is owned by people. You have as an owner or a landlord, you are all right, and maybe business is not doing well and you need some cash. So how do you do that? To your current business or even your equity of your own holding of your company, but you shop where you are doing some mini markets, okay, or maybe you're doing some other businesses. Time to tell, find some maybe not competitors, but I think competitors can be one party interested in your business model who may say that, maybe it's something for you, because the whole idea in terms of investment or being a landlord is actually following this rule, which basically do not lose your money. All right. And if you forget this rule, you go back to the first rule, which is also lose your money. So if you edit some of your shares in the company, okay, or the equity that you hold in your property, perhaps there's also one way where you have the opportunity to keep your business, keep your shop, but yet you have another value added partner. All right. So money still did not lose, but it just changes hand within the same entity. All right. So for those of you who are owners of buildings or landlords, it's not easy to find some buyers right now, all right? Or maybe this as an opportunity. So if you look into this as a transactional thing, then real estate agents will have a lot of opportunity to benefit also. So this is some of the ideas that I could put up to you, all right? Secondly, what about tenants? I think tenants is spoiled for choice right now. Okay, let's look into this now. Prior to even the announcement of the government for some of the goodies, you have seen some malls are offering rent free, because that time the MCO was only 14 days before it was extended. So I'm not really promoting some of these malls, but I'm just saying that they are doing something like CSR. All right, we even have Bangsa, we even have Pavilion, Tropicana Gardens. So basically, Capital Mall, they are actually giving 14 days rental, most of these, all right? And of course, after the extension, I'm not sure how, but I think for those of you who are affected, these are the times where you can actually have a lot of rental discount. And I think they are also motivated, as mentioned last 2 days ago, when the Prime Minister says that, they are giving even tax incentive if you bode well also, whether it's just for only SME or even residential. Residential, myself, being depending on the financial of the person, giving them some leeways, all right? Because at the end of the day, I think it's about what you can do for people that can keep them. For those of you who read my book about how to maintain great tenant, I think this is one of the methods, all right? Because you may not just give them discount, you can give them deferment and increase it back later on. So there are many methods to do this, and I think even as a real estate professionals, agents, or negotiators, this is a time when you need to have more engagement with your clients, all right? For landlords and tenants, of course, this is a time to test your relationship, all right? So tenant, perhaps you cannot just everyone is giving discount, you ask. It also depends on your own financial situation and your landlord financial situation, okay? So perhaps some landlord also may not be doing well because they have a big expenses above their head to maintain their workforce. So perhaps this is also a test for you and your landlord relationship. And if you have not been talking to your landlord, so for those of you who are seeing this, and if you have any comment or question, you can just put it down there. I will just look through the comments as I end this later on, so that if you have any question, then we can actually answer you right now. Later on, not right now. Yeah. So other things is that, of course, this is also a good opportunity for you to relocate in case things turn sour and you still can't get the deals that you want. Perhaps this is also a good time to find a better unit or expand on it, because some of you are maybe expansion plan, all right? And there are so many to choose from, not just location, the opportunity type. And for those of you who want to downsize, if you're doing a business as a tenant, as SME, perhaps it's also good for you to look into some co-working space or co-living spaces that is available out there. Co-working may be good. Of course, the demand will be more for all the private rooms, because after MCO or what, we still have to have this social distancing. So everyone is facing a credit crunch. So ultimately, if you are a tenant and you move into a space where there's another tenant next to you, your neighbor. So I think now is the best time to so-called look into what you call this no tie neighbor. Find out the common needs. Maybe share some Wi-Fi together, share some expenses together lah. If you feel that you are in a place where you need some security guard, share some security guard, because anyway, you guys are neighbor. So this is an opportunity during now where you can share some expenses together. Okay, unlike good times when everyone is doing their own thing. So this is maybe some of the things that a tenant can look at as a stakeholder in the real estate fraternity. And lastly, of course, I think this is the one that most of you, if you're from UCSI College or you are coming in to watch this because you are in the real estate profession as an owner, as a negotiator, yesterday Aaron has talked about the advantages of being a real estate during good times and bad times. So now with all these opportunities, what can you do more? And hopefully you will be continuing this talk also with Christopher Chan on 10th of April, Friday at 2:30 p.m. For me, it's about positioning and bridging, because there's so many of you out there, all right? Despite we know that the profession still need more and more people, all right? But there's so many out there under one agency. So how do you differentiate yourself? You must position, you must bridge, all right? Now, as you can see, the wave of digital disruption is nothing new. It has been all along since 1995, where we have seen, you know, where the we use Kodak cameras and all the Fuji films are outdated. When we have the first so-called digital phones, all right. Then all the cassette type and whatever not is gone. And then by 2000, after the millennium, we have even real estate was so-called disrupted with online, as we see all portals starting to come up where you can search for property online. And then by 2015, when all the apps started to come in, we even have so many startups on property apps, you know. And of course now, I think the estimation. So today, ask if you are a real estate negotiator or a professional or adopting digital, you know, digital as simple as doing a Facebook Live, you know, are you seen or not? Okay, so the question is no longer why you need why is digital transformation. It is needed. It is needed, especially now when during this lockdown or this so-called partial movement control order, you can't be just bringing people to see properties anymore. So what can you do? Okay, you cannot be just posting in Facebook your listing, okay, and or sending WhatsApp to your clients. That will make them more disgusted because, you know, with so many information overload today. So what can you really do? So having said that, of course, we already know that there's so many startups and companies that is related to real estate that is hitting the startups economy. All right. Of course, everyone is talking about collaboration. You know, you converge. Then there's this talent pool that is moving. But I think the keyword you need to highlight is actually the last mile. You know, just like for example, for grocery or retail convenience. Real estate agency saying that some of these startups are hurting their businesses, because at the end of the day, you are serving your client. You need the human touch. You need the human touch. All right. So to do that, I think one very important key point is that how do you position yourself? You know, real estate, you need to brand yourself. All right. What makes it so important? All right. So as a real estate professional, the personal branding is very important. All right. Your personal is very important. I'm going to end this shortly. So those of you who are with me for the last 1 hour, bear with me as I'm going to end my slides soon and we're going to go for some Q&A. So do you have your clients, does your client have you on your mind, on their mind? See, they must know what makes you different, you know. Can I relate as someone, you know? So am I accessible online? The question is that how frequent is your brand presence everywhere? And the most importantly is that are you serving them with these, I think, are the opportunities if you look at it. Right now. Of course, I know some of you are being trained and upskilled right now. This is also good. So I think every is very boring. It's we are in the comfort zone. I think all of to up where to come here, come right, and learn and going right. And this will in turn make your income no longer be push marketing income. Instead, it will be attracting a lot of income via pull marketing, where people will come into you. Okay, you don't have to seek for listing, where listing come to you. In fact, if you are an agency, you have more negotiators to come here because they like your branding. They like to work with in the environment that you are in. Perhaps a real estate agent need to be based in a co-working or co-living space, you know, and of course, a lot of time to upskill and learning. Yeah. So the keyword is, I think everybody needs to collaborate to converge our resources together, so to make good use of these tough times ahead. All right. With all these things happening and all things no one left behind. All right. So guys, I think I'm coming to the end of my slide. If you have any things that you need info and update, I guess you just keep following this page, UCSI page for updates programs. I'm always available for 7 online and my personal friend book. If you want to become my friend, you type in a message and tell me that you have just attended UCSI College today, the webinar and Facebook Live request, because I have thousands of people have yet to request. Okay, so just like the government, they have the pre-Hatin package. So just for those of you online student here right now, I have a pre-Hatin knowledge package for you. Now, for those of you who have not gotten my book, I think this is the best time to read. So my books is retailing in the stores, Kinokuniya, Popular, MPH for $25.90. But just for you today who tune in to UCSI College Facebook page, okay, only for I think for the next 1 week. For the next 1 week, I will only attend it for the next of 77 ringgit 70 cents. I will just make it at 66 ringgit with fees so that I can send after that's lifted, so that you can have a good read and benefit from this. And if you feel that reading is not enough, you want to get more of me later on, for those of you who have been supporting myself, I'm actually running a 1-day special webinar this Saturday on how to collect rental and also what are the steps to recover some of the bad debts or debts from contractual obligations, not just tenants, okay, which will be done in a full day. All right. So if you have any of these queries, the web to me at admin@superiorwealthmastery.com. All right. For book, send me an email. For this, you can click on the link down here at bit.ly/swisszoom. All right. Lastly, I think I have to do a public service announcement here since I have the attention. Please stay at home, flatten the curve, social distance, and we have to thank those frontliners and the last line of defense, all the medical people. Hour-long attention, everyone. Thank you, guys. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, give me a lot of light and love down there. Yeah. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Any questions? Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would foresee that is the reason why the co-living or co-housing by developers are very important. You see, I think as we all, for those of you who are in the education industry, you would know that also you provide hostel, but it's limited. So housing around the area is also a good way for landlords to actually acquire. I started my personal journey by classes is online, but still there is some requirement to go to classes because there's some laboratories there, some facilities there and whatnot, unless it's fully distant learning. So institution will still run as usual, but of course the behavior and the changes will come in with after COVID-19. Yeah. Yeah, good. You feel very hot lah. Okay. I think we have to what they call this, remove this idea about having a hotspot, because the dogma or this perception of what you call this location is no longer true in today's world. All right, what location is best? Because location is one of the so-called criteria to buy property. Ultimately, it's also the space usage and economic activities. As you can see earlier from my slides, I've seen that I've shown that how many types of property opportunity in terms of a business model. And I think that goes into it. But of course, it's best to start so-called near to you, lah. You don't have to go far. But for those of you who are already so-called seasonal investors beyond just Malaysia, perhaps because rentals could be better. All right. So certain place will thrive in certain sector of the economy. Like medical tourism is very famous in Penang. So if you want to invest in hospital, I think that's the best place to go. All right. Just a general answer to a general question. Yeah, I saw one LA that is this recorded. Michelle, sorry. Yeah, so you can see this later after we finish the live. Correct. So, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Oh, one more thing, my email is stated on the last slide. My email, admin@superiorwealthmastery.com. So for those of you who want to get back to me, I want to clarify some points. I think this is the email to write in, as well as the books and the webinar. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So before we hang on, keep like this post and share the post. Share to as many friends as possible, and let me know if this what you call this webinar for hour-long session has benefited you. Thank you much. Bye.